sword. QED. People to care about. The kid's mum had been a swat even when he didn't know he'd made one. And then the ravens had come to burn her. And the book was just the kid.
Ah, baixo bota. Muito bom jogo.
He came up to a ledge. It was too far to jump. There'd been a bridge here before, hadn't there? And there was Peter, giggling at him. How'd you get across? He asked the kid. Where'd you find a hook? I hopped, said the kid. Wise-ass kid. Hey, look out behind you. Cute, said Renato. Oh, ravens.
Stories, the path of Destinies.
It was time to talk some sense into the kid. Just hook his way across the ledge and chase the kid down. Thing was, he hadn't used his hook since he'd retired. How had he done it? Maybe if he meditated at that altar there, he'd remember his old skills. It was starting to come back to him. Something you never completely forgot, like how to freeze time when attacking. The more he fought, the more he'd probably remember. And there was the Farfarer. She was the fastest ship he'd ever known. She could do the Kestra run in 12 furlongs. Oh, so the salesman had told him. And something told him the kid was about to walk into an ambush. Stop! He shouted. I'm not giving you the book! Shouted the kid, and took off. No! Peter! The kid ran for it, and a goggler nailed him with its eye beam.
Ah, muito bom jogo.
The book was unburned. Next to it were the buckles from the kid's shoes, and a kid-sized pile of ashes. Damn it. Why hadn't he lied and told the kid he'd take the book to the rebels? The kid would be alive now. Really pissed off and betrayed, but alive. Oh, damn it. Renato picked up the book. He couldn't let the Empire have it now. He was going to have to get it out of there. He'd be a wanted man. Probably have to join the rebellion just to have a place to dock. Well, he'd hated home life anyway.
Ô, aí, Mafia. Beleza, meu querido? Boa noite, hein? Máfia é nosso amigão aí, sempre junto.
What was the big deal about this book anyway? Maybe he should open it and find out. All that had been years ago. How many? The war was a blur, and now 3 Raven scout ships were chasing him. Where are you running, rebel? Cawed the Raven captain over the loud hailer. Renato could see them cranking up their catapults. Just going out for milk? Renato yelled back. Where can you run? Laughed the Raven horribly. Far behind him, another city was burning. The dark cloud above its island was thousands of Imperial ships. The fleet was doing a thorough job. Take us to the rebel base! I will spare your life! It cawed. The entire jury-rigged rebel fleet was only a few islands to the east. Beyond that were only the pillars of heaven. A sea of endless blood-colored tornadoes. The rebellion was out of time. Unless Renato could bring a game changer. Maybe he could. Renato had found out where he could find the pieces of the Sky Ripper, the legendary weapon that had exiled the lost gods. Surely a legendary weapon could win the final battle. On the other hand, his old friend Lapino had sent Renato a desperate message saying he had a brilliant scheme to save the rebellion. If Renato could only rescue him. Renato dived the Farfarer towards the abyss. As he felt the heat of the jet stream, the Raven ships peeled off, not stable enough to follow him down there. Now it was time to choose. Lapino or the Sky Ripper? Lapino. Apparently, the Mad Rabbit had sold a Pegasus that he didn't exactly own. Lapino always wiggled out of trouble
Que
given
show,
time,
bacana.
but he was out of time. The Ravens had figured out that Lapino was a rebel spy. If the fleet reached him first, they'd string him up for that. Never mind the winged horse. Lapino had apparently managed to confuse the judge by arguing that he hadn't actually stolen a winged horse. He'd only sold it. But wait, where was the prison? The village was empty. Renato's blood was up. He just needed to smash something. Yeah. There was an inscription. Praise the sun.
Louve o sol. Cara, aparentemente é de aventura, é de fase. Vai seguindo nos mundos e nos castelos. Muito bom, tô gostando do jogo, hein? Muito bom. Esperava que fosse tão bom que eu tivesse baixado, mas... Ah, vale a pena.
Firewalls only let you through if they think you're hot enough. Shall we just agree to disagree? Said Renato. No?
Muito bom, vamos lá.
Ravens were landing everywhere. The advance guard. He'd better get moving. If they got to Lupino first, they'd eat him for breakfast. Or a snack. Ravens weren't picky. If they got hungry, they sometimes forgot to interrogate their prisoners. Even top spies like Lupino. Where had the mad rabbit got to?
A essência do vento.
Renato felt like he was ready to learn new things. It was starting to come back to him. Something you never completely forgot, like how to freeze time when attacking. The more he fought, the more he'd probably remember. Renato felt a chill run down his back. Or possibly a flea.
Reynolds sentiu um frio na espinha, ou podia ser uma pulga. Ah.
He didn't even need to aim it. Dirty and bloody, Renato finally reached Lupino. The rabbit was practicing his shuffle. Renato recognized the cards. It was Lupino's favorite deck. Oh, I thought you were in danger. I am. The ravens are coming. Oh, the prison thing. Right, yeah, we see this guard owed me 53 ducats, so we made a deal. They're very reasonable people, actually, for weasels. Now, I got a brilliant plan to kidnap Zenobia. We capture Zenobia, we find out what she knows, and that's the whole war right there. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Capture the Emperor's greatest general, who also happened to be a deadly sorcerer and, his only daughter. That would be worth it.
Claro, brother, com certeza, compartilha aí.
Still get to the core of the sky
Todo mundo
repair,
sempre
even if you couldn't get the whole
bem-vindo
thing.
aí.
It must have great power.
Show.
The Sky Ripper, the transcendent emperor, had wrapped an armature around the eye of a god. Bernardo had already let that armature slip away to save Lupino's life. But even its core, the eye torn from a god, surely they could fashion a great weapon from that.
The core of the Sky Ripper? Lupino's excited. That's an actual thing that we could just go and get. You've been busy.
He sure had. Bernardo told him all the things he'd been up to. Soon they got to talking about old times, about wages they'd won and lost, and scrapes they'd barely got out of. It was good to be back with his friend. Bernardo grinned. He had a very good feeling about this. It's beautiful here, thought Bernardo. He was thrilled to be back with his old war buddy. He'd missed the mad rabbit, but something was not quite right.
A essência do fogo, hein? Aí sim.
Who needed bridges anyway? I wonder what I could make with all these sword crafting materials, thought Bernardo.
Ô, valeu, hein, Mafia. Tamo junto. Tá curtindo o jogo aí? Boa, Igor. Ah, muito bom o jogo da Pulse Deus fez, hein? Vale a pena.
There was something sour in the air. Like the earth had ruptured over something that had been fermenting for a very long time.
E o áudio dos americanos, assim, em jogo é foda, né, meu? A narração dos loucos não tem igual, né?
It's like having the world's deadliest bowman right by his side.
Bernardo felt
A BF1 é foda.
wrong all over. He could feel an almost palpable sickness in the air. And if the land could have tumors, they would look like these monstrous crystals. The forest was quieter than it had been. There were insects, a few birds, if you didn't count the ravens. Bernardo smelled sick animals and dying ones, but no healthy ones. And getting a bad feeling about this, Bernardo thought. Maybe Lupino was right. Maybe they should have kidnapped Zenobia instead of coming here.
Talvez.
Look, it's not personal, but your smells terrible. The icosahedron. Bernardo felt queasy, like dozens of tiny worms were nibbling his insides. It wasn't healthy to be so close to the eye of a god. How could he use it? He could take it to the observatory. The scientists there could tell him how to harness its ancient power. But honestly, Bernardo ached to get away from it. He brought the core back with him to the Farfarer. But honestly, Bernardo ached to be rid of it. Tell you what, said Lupino.
E o Smite lá tá show, Lopes. Tem que baixar, meu.
Attack the Imperial Outpost.
Agora esse final de ano aí com o Natal, hein? Várias
could shatter the Empire's ability to
várias missões, várias coisas lá.
It would be full of secret plans and maps and maybe even rebel prisoners. It was a good target for a hero like Bernardo. But what if Lupino got the core and then broke it, or lost it, or worse? Was Bernardo ready to take that risk? Maybe it was better if he brought the core to the scientists himself. Lupino was a touchy rabbit. Bernardo knew that. You're brave, I know, Bernardo said. But this is what I was hired to do. At least let me run ahead and warn the scientists you're coming. So, Lupino was intent on being a hero, just like him. War made sensible men crazy for glory, and Lupino had never been sensible. But what was the harm? Lupino might well trip over a hornet's nest of ravens. But that was better than ravens lying in ambush, wasn't it? They finished the trip to the Nexus in silence. Bernardo had no sooner rescued his friend than he was putting him back in danger. All right, he finally said as they landed. Go.
Terceira missão já, caramba.
As Bernardo watched Lupino vanish on the horizon, he could feel nausea building in him. He felt ill. Could his knees really be aching this much? But how could he have handed the core off to Lupino? That was a recipe for disaster. He was sort of yanking his own chain, wasn't he?
tem nada. Ah, vai ter o El Chan agora daqui uns dias. El Chan e você.
There was a cat in this one, and something useful.
Ah, lagurizada. Empaqueteira. Oh, reflexos defensivos. O Inter ofereceu um valor individual para cada jogador do Figueirense. Se o Figueirense empata. Não, o Vitória já escapou. Capaz. Vitória tem duas vitórias a mais e saldo de gol. Vitória tem 5 só, saldo de gol a mais. É impossível.
Bernardo felt worse.
Capaz, o Vitória já escapou. O negócio é o Figueirense empatar ou ganhar do Sport, o Inter ganhar, aí já é. Sim, Deus me diga. Vai ser um milagre.
And how was this any worse than a sword wound? Well, a death by sword was sudden and fair. This was just squalid. A piecemeal death, like old age.
Meu, puta merda.
The Nexus Observatory had some of the Empire's greatest scientists. If anyone could rig the core into a useful weapon, and even better, make it stop leaking poison, it would be them.
Não, mas quantos e o saldo é gol?
There was an inscription on the platform. Balaleka lessons, with an address. Energy spheres. Easy to dodge, but why do they sting if you didn't pay attention?
Não tem como. A Vitória escapou.
hated warlocks. The way they stayed back and lobbed pain and death from a distance. Cowards. Really dangerous, effective cowards.
Sim. É só o Sport empatar ou perder e o Inter ganhar já era. Nós ficamos na primeira. Agora é Inter Sport a briga.
Bernardo felt a little better.
É. Se Vitor lançarem.
The observatory was a burning hulk. Dead scientists everywhere. Bernardo found the mad rabbit cowering under a desk.
Sim.
The ravens. They must have known we were coming, said Lapino. How did you...
Isso é.
See, I was doing a card trick with my lucky deck, and I kind of bobbled the cards, so I went under the desk to gather them up, and boom! I guess we'll have to take the car straight to the secret base. The secret rebel base. Yes. They had engineers there. But wait. Calaveras, the sage in the mountains. Maybe he would know what to do with the naked core.
Isso é.